Okay. So just a safety reminder that our fire safety exit is just the door that you came in. Good afternoon. We acknowledge that we are in the traditional lands of the Blackfoot Nations, which includes the Siksika, Piikani, and Kainai First Nations, as well as the Iyethka, Nakota, Wiskata Nations of Chiniki, Bearspaw, Goodstoney, and the Tsuut'ina Nation. Calgary is also home to the Métis Nation of Alberta, including the Battle River Territory. We recognize and thank all First Nations, Métis, and Inuit peoples who have lived on and cared for this land for generations. Thank you for joining us. Today we have an update on the Bearspaw South Feeder Main. We will be hearing from General Manager of Infrastructure Services, Michael Thompson, and Mayor Jeremy Farkas. We will hear their remarks and then there will be an opportunity to ask questions after. And for our online viewers, we ask that you identify what media outlet you belong to. I will now turn the podium over to General Manager of Infrastructure Services, Michael Thompson.
Good afternoon. I'm Michael Thompson, General Manager of Infrastructure Services. We are now 4 days in to the planned reinforcement work on the Bearspaw South Feeder Main and our water restrictions. I'd like to start off today with a big thank you. We asked for you to take action to keep our water demand in the green zone under 500 million litres each day, and Calgary, Airdrie, Chestermere, Strathmore, and Tsuut'ina Nation, you are delivering. Since restrictions came into effect on Monday, you have collectively kept your use in the green zone each day. This is helping our operators at the plant treat enough water to meet your needs and is significantly reducing the risks that our community faces. Thank you. We know this is just the start. The pipe will be shut down for another 3.5 weeks while we complete our reinforcements, but we are so grateful for the actions you are taking. Again, a huge thank you. It's clear that small but meaningful actions can really add up as we strive to save 25 litres of water per person each day. Please keep up these basics. Flushing toilets only when needed. Each skipped flush saves about 5 litres. Keeping showers to 3 minutes. Every minute less saves 8 litres of water. And running dishwashers and washing machines only with full loads. Dishwashers use around 28 litres a cycle, and a front-loading washing machine uses 62 litres. So even one less cycle a day can meet or exceed your daily target. From our water demand dashboard, it's clear that many of you are taking these actions. This week, you are all water heroes. Turning to the repair work itself, crews continue to make progress on the planned reinforcement of the feeder main. During the next 3.5 weeks, we will be reinforcing a total of 9 segments, 6 on 16th Avenue near Sarcee Trail and 3 at Point McKay. As of this morning, our pipe draining and reinforcement construction continues to be on schedule. We are continuing to drain the final section of pipe. Excavation continues across all work areas, and crews are starting to install trench boxes around the exposed sections of pipe. We are also completing other essential feeder main related work in the area. This includes repairs to valves and connecting pipes and preparing for future connection to the new steel feeder main. During recent investigative work along 33rd Avenue Northwest, we discovered that some valves controlling water distribution in the area need to be repaired. This work will be done now so that we can properly connect the new steel feeder main to the existing pipe. Repair of these valves began today and will last for approximately 10 days. To support the repairs, the intersection of 83rd Street and 33rd Avenue Northwest will be partially closed and there will be lane reductions. Temporary lights will be used to direct traffic at the intersection, and traffic flaggers will be on site for peak hours. City representatives are reaching out to the impacted property owners directly to discuss the required work and the traffic impacts. We'll continue to share updates as work progresses. Over the past few days, we have really been inspired by hearing the stories of the interesting and innovative ways people are saving water. Please keep sharing your tips, and if you have a great water-saving idea at home, work, or at school, consider tagging the city on social media. Today, I'd like to give kudos to some of the downtown office buildings who are helping spread the word to their tenants and are also adjusting their operations to use less water. One example is 8th Avenue Place and their property management company, Hines. They have modified their cleaning practices by suspending parquet and carpet cleaning, switched to bottled water at their conference center, and are prioritizing repairs to all mechanical and plumbing leaks. 8th Avenue Place and all their office buildings taking similar steps. Thank you for being water heroes. I also want to share a downloadable poster available at calgary.ca/save water. If your business is taking steps to save water, consider printing this and hanging it in your window or inside your business. This will help spread the word about water restrictions to customers and staff and show that you are doing your part to help us all get through the next 3.5 weeks. And as a reminder, we're encouraging all businesses to review their operations for unnecessary water use, fix leaks and adjust processes where possible, and share water-saving ideas with staff and customers. There are tips and tools available on our website to help businesses conserve without compromising safety or service. I'll close with another thank you for all of your actions so far to save water. This is a strong start, and we ask everyone to keep up these actions to keep us in the green zone. We'll be doing our part to keep water flowing to your taps while we complete the reinforcement work as quickly and safely as possible. For the most up-to-date information, practical tips, and resources for residents and businesses, visit calgary.ca/save water. We will continue to share progress updates daily on our social media channels, and our next media availability will be Monday, March the 16th at 2 p.m. Now I'll turn things over to Mayor Farkas.
Thank you, Jim Thompson, and thank you to every and each member of our community who's been doing everything that they can to be water heroes. This is what Team Calgary is about. And I do want to give a shout out to our crews today who continue to work at an incredible speed with incredible precision in 9 different areas at one time, even through weather like this, where many of us are grateful to just be inside right now. Every member of our crews, every member of the city, of city council, of city administration, and each and every one of the workers attached to this project understands the urgency, the speed, and the precision with which this work needs to be done. And I'm so grateful for their dedication, for their expertise, and for the willingness to work around the clock in any weather to deliver this project for Calgary. And by the way, I'm not just talking about the repairs being done on the existing feeder main, but also the incredible speed at which we're delivering the new replacement pipe, which will be completed by December of this year. I know how frustrating it can be to live in a city like Calgary, one of the economic engines of this country, and to still be faced with a message about reducing your water use. But as so many people have shown, Calgary, you are stepping up. You are helping us deliver. And I'm so thankful for each and every one of you. And I know that our crews are deeply thankful as well. You know, I hear encouraging stories from young people who are posting online about the ways that they're being water heroes. And I'm encouraged by the buy-in that we're seeing from our corporate partners and large water users across the city. As GM Thompson just pointed out, we have some excellent examples of that kind of leadership that businesses and business owners are showing to help reduce our water footprint during this time. And so, to every business owner, I know it's always a challenge to change systems or adapt routines, but I do want to say thank you so much to each and every one of you who is doing so because you are helping us make a difference. And ultimately, that means that we can get this work done and get things back on track as quickly as possible. And I also want to thank the members of the media who are here with us today, who have been doing a really terrific job in communicating the water restrictions, their importance, and continuing to highlight that message. Everyone from our TV cameras, morning show hosts, news anchors, and reporters on CBC, Global, City News, and CTV, to our members of the print media here in Calgary, including the Calgary Herald and the Calgary Sun, online outlets like Livewire, The Sprawl, and the Western Standard, and our friends in the Canadian press and on the radio, including Sarah Crosby on QR77, Rishi Nagar on Red FM, and Jesse and JD, yes, you guys too, thank you for being a water hero. All of you have done a really great job, and I want to pass along a sincere thank you, because this collaborative approach, helping deliver this message and getting it as far across our city as possible, really is making a difference. And so too is each and every Calgarian who has taken the time to talk to their family members, their friends, their coworkers, and their neighbors. You are all helping make a difference, helping get our city into the best possible place so we can get these repairs done, move forward, and never have to worry about this issue again. I've really appreciated seeing the many ways Calgarians are stepping up to be water heroes online. Whether it's households having a contest to see who can take the shortest shower, or comparing your current water bill to your previous one to see how much water you're saving during this period of restrictions, there are fun and interesting ways to engage your kids, your colleagues and coworkers, and community members in how we can all reduce our water use right now, and maybe, hopefully, even have a little bit of fun while doing it. Not that living under these kinds of restrictions is ever fun, but this is Calgary. We make the best of any situation we face, and we do it as a community, and we do it as Team Calgary. So once again, I just want to say thank you to each and every Calgarian who is doing their part, limiting showers to 3 minutes or less, flushing only when absolutely necessary, and running your dishwasher or washing machine only when you have a full load. These small steps are helping us get through this, and I'm truly grateful to each and every one of you who has stepped up and is helping our city deliver. Thank you, everyone, and we're now happy to take your questions.
I've got one, I guess, probably for GM Thompson. Obviously, the amount of water that we have available is very important. Could you just talk about what the snowpack in the mountains looks like, as well as how the snow today is going to be helping ease the situation a bit?
Thanks. So the question really about how much water we have available and what's the weather like today, is that helping? And like we had talked about before, we're doing these reinforcements and this work right now in March because it's the ideal time. The reservoir had filled back up following the break on December 30th. When we talked in January, we were talking about a concern of a reduction of water in the Glenmore Reservoir. It had filled back up, and we were expecting that there would be spring runoff coming into the Glenmore Reservoir, and that's what we're seeing now. And so this is exactly why we picked this time to do this work, because we have that increased runoff coming into the Glenmore Reservoir. We see that snow in the mountains, and so we know that there will be that increased water flow coming in. So it's a great time to be doing this work right now from a water perspective, volume of water coming into the reservoir.
Any other questions?
When it comes to 33rd Avenue, residents along that strip have said there's been a lot of activity, not just what you've just described now, but it seems like it's been a few weeks now of crews along 33rd Avenue. What does the work look like in that area? Have crews been monitoring the pipe along that strip? You mentioned there's been some digging, but also manholes, looking at manholes and stuff as well. So what's been going on 33rd?
Yeah, so question really around what's been happening on 33rd Avenue. There's been work happening out there, and so there has been work happening on 33rd Avenue for a bit, and that's because that's where the Bearspaw South Feeder Main runs right now, is down 33rd Avenue. And so as we were preparing to do this reinforcement work and looking in to how the existing pipe and the status of the existing pipe was, we were out looking at valves, looking at infrastructure along 33rd Avenue and getting ready for the upcoming work. Like we talked about previously, We never really know 100% what we're dealing with until we open up the ground. We excavate, we get down and we see the pipe, and we have the ability to close some valves when the water is turned off. And so what we found is there's some additional work required right now. The team's ready. As I mentioned, it should take about 10 days to do that work on 33rd Avenue at 83rd Street. And we started today and looking forward to getting that done to help us in the future when we go to connect the new steel feeder main into the existing pipe.
Question for Mayor Farkas, unrelated to water. Just wondering if you can provide any update on the Sheldon Schumer supervised consumption site, if you've heard anything from the province, if you know anything just kind of about what might be happening with that site and when.
Yeah, Minister Williams wrote to me earlier, or sorry, Minister Wilson wrote to me earlier this year indicating the federal, I need a mulligan, sorry. It's one of those days. Minister Wilson wrote to me earlier this year indicating the provincial government's interest in closing the supervised consumption services provided at Sheldon Schumer, but we haven't heard anything recently in terms of what those exact timelines might be. We fully understand that it's under provincial jurisdiction, the operations of that site. We're interested and eager to work alongside the provincial government to manage what that transition may look like. We want to work proactively with our Calgary Police Service partners as well as the nonprofit and social sector agencies who are most deeply impacted, and we'd like to see a plan for how that transition is managed and whether if it's a relocation of the services to a different part of the city or perhaps a dispersed model, what the plan may be to support those communities.
I know that the province released the report, I believe it was yesterday or the day before, on the Red Deer site and its closure. I'm not sure if you read that at all or if you might be able to compare, reading that, what you think about the Calgary site.
Yeah, it was interesting to read some of the research and literature out of the Red Deer experience, but we're two different cities and geographically different, demographically different. Some of the learnings could be applied here, but still early days to be able to determine that. I'd say most of all, though, our approach needs to be supporting the community, supporting our most vulnerable. We need to be tough on crime here in Calgary, but we even need to be tougher on the causes of crime. It's not a tenable position to close the site without necessarily a plan in place in terms of how we'll continue to support the community and how that vulnerable population will be supported. So I understand that, again, it's a provincial jurisdiction, provincial decision to make, but we're asking from a number of different perspectives, particularly around law enforcement, to be at the table in terms of managing what that transition may be. So if the intent of the province is to move the services that are provided at the Sheldon Schumer today to other parts of the city, we need a seat at the table to be able to advise on that and to manage what the impacts may be that on local businesses and residents from a disbursement of those services. But most of all, though, we're looking to work in collaboration with the provincial government and expect to be able to do so in the coming weeks here as the province fine-tunes their intentions.
Any other questions?
I have one for Jim. Can you tell us more about the different steps that we are going through for this 4 weeks? Like each week, what do we have to do, and until completion?
Yeah, so question's really about what are we doing? What does the next 3.5 weeks look like going forward? And so at the start, we turned the feeder main off on Monday, and we started to drain that pipe. We've got to drain the water out of that existing feeder main, and we started to excavate around the 9 repair or reinforcement sites. And so those excavations have started. Not all of them are completed yet, and we'll be excavating down to the existing pipe. And then it's very much like we did in August and September of 2024, where we're going to go and excavate, expose the feeder main, and we're going to build a reinforced steel cage around it, and then we pour concrete around that reinforcing steel, and basically we're building a sleeve around the existing pipe. And so you'll see that work taking place over the next 3.5 weeks at those 9 repair sites. And so we will do that work. Once that concrete has set up, we pull the forms off, we backfill the area, and then we'll put the water back into the pipe, and we have to go through the entire process like we did in January of this year of refilling the pipe, making sure that the water is safe before we return that pipe to service. And at the same time as we're doing that, we're doing work on some valves like I mentioned earlier. So we're in repairing and replacing some valves just to make sure that the system is ready for that work coming up as we go to tie in the new steel feeder main that we're building, so that we are as prepared as we can for that work. And so while we're doing all of that work over the next 3.5 weeks, other crews are continuing to build that replacement pipe and working extremely quickly to get that replacement pipe done. If you're in the communities of Montgomery, you will see those construction crews working away, building that replacement pipe, and we are on schedule for December to have that replacement pipe completed.
So can you guarantee that comes April 9th, what restriction is going to be lifted?
So it's an interesting word, guarantee. In construction, there is no guarantees as you're doing this work. As I mentioned earlier, as we excavated down, we found something new, and that's what our teams do. Once we find a problem, we work to fix the problem. And that's what they're doing with the valves on 33rd Avenue at 83rd Street. That's what we did in 2024 as we excavated down. And you'll recall we found things that we weren't expecting, and we had plans in place, and we executed on those plans. And that's what we'll do right now. So right now we're on schedule. We'll keep updating Calgarians as we go forward as to our progress. And our focus is on getting this work done quickly and safely for the community.
When it comes to other issues that come up throughout the city, southeast, southwest, any other areas where there might be like a water main break, those type of things, would that affect the progress on a project like this? I mean, a lot of crews, a lot of time.
Yeah, so question is, do other water main breaks around the city impact a project like this, the work that we're doing right now? And so, as I've mentioned before, we typically have between 200 and 300 water main breaks a year in the city. We have over 5,000 kilometers of water pipe across the city of Calgary, and so it's not unexpected we would have breaks in pipes, like I said, 200 to 300 a year. And so as those issues come up, we have other crews that will go and deal with that. It won't slow the work that we're doing right now down, but it is one of the reasons that we ask Calgarians to reduce water uses so that we're ready should something like another issue come up somewhere else in the system, should there be a fire that needs a significant amount of water to put out, that we've got that water ready and available. So that's why I just, again, have to thank Calgarians and the community, Chestermere, Strathmore, Airdrie, and the Tsuut'ina Nation for taking those actions to save water and keep us in the green zone. And I think we're off to a fantastic start here.
Okay. Well, thank you everyone for coming. We'll see you Monday at 2 p.m.